Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it is time for another Orton Mode workout. Today was Max Effort Press Day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Today, I went back to the straight bar, just did normal bench with pinkies on the rings, which is a standard grip, with 30 pounds of bands, ramped up to 317 plus the bands, and called it there. I felt like I could have made another 10-pound jump, but I'm just trying to keep it as training maxes. We're going to try to keep going up. Now, some people will say, where's the 17? That looks like 315. Those spacers I use to put the bands over are a 2.5-pound set. I've weighed them. So they weigh 2.5 pounds. So I'm just rounding it down to 2 pounds. So I'm calling it 317. So for anyone curious on that. Also, I've had people ask, hey, I don't understand. What do you mean plus bands? It's like, okay, the bar has 317 pounds on it, and I'm using a 30-pound band set. The bands are 30 pounds at the lockout. They're about 5 at the bottom, and they hit probably 25, 6 inches off the chest. Bands increase exponentially. But we don't need to figure out the average of all of it. We just use the band tensions the same and just rotate through them and keep track of them. But again, this is pretty clean. I'm trying to pause on everything, trying to keep them all very, very paused right now. I'm trying to just build power off the chest on all of my stuff. So you guys will notice it in general. The bench rep work is paused. The incline work is paused. So good pause, drive, locked it out. Not really a problem. Well, again, training max, not a true max. And I'm pretty happy with it. And no shoulder pain. My shoulder rehab has gone phenomenally well. So now it's just a matter of getting all these muscles stronger. And again, people need to keep in mind, I've gone over the wider grip benching because I know in the long term it's going to be better. I know it's going to be better, even though I've always been stronger close grip. We're getting closer at this point to it catching where my old close grip was. Keeping in mind, I've hit 352 with the Buffalo bar on close grip and 345 with the straight bar on close grip, right? So I feel like looking at all these numbers now, we're approaching that right now and still getting stronger. So we're gonna catch that. Keeping in mind, the most you guys have ever seen me bench with a normal grip, like pinkies on the rings, has been 335. So I feel like we could do that right now, or better. Again, just based upon how that band tension felt. So we're gonna keep working up. But these went good today. I went with 275. 4 5s, and then I managed to get 6 reps on the last set. And again, all of them are paused. Pause reps. I'm trying to focus really hard on, because I'm going with this wider grip now, of getting power off the bottom, power from the bottom of the bench. I'm not as worried about all the lockout strength. I'm still training triceps, but I'm not obsessed with the lockout strength because that's where I miss close grip presses. On the wider grip, your triceps are at a completely different angle and everything at the top. And I feel like as long as I can build enough power out of the bottom, I should not be missing lockouts. Shouldn't be missing lockouts. So we build chest first, so that I'm having a heavy chest focus early in the session, but we're doing 6 sets for chest each workout twice a week. That's all we really need. And then everything else is focused on developing my delts and triceps. Okay. And again, the delts will help me through the middle of the bench. If things slow through the middle, the delts will push me through there. But I need pecs and lats to get out of the bottom. So again, a lot of pause benching. And the pause incline works too, because it hammers the chest really hard while being a great front delt exercise. It just works a different angle. And the incline's been coming up too. We'll get to that when we get to the incline. It's coming along nicely. But rows, I use the same weight, but I'm like, I just realized I don't need to put that 45 on when I'm up to 295. I can just use more of these red training plates. And my God, it felt heavier. It felt heavier than my 295 with the other setup. When I switched the calibrated plate out, so it almost makes me wonder, you know, although I shouldn't wonder because Rogue does guarantee the weight of these plates. I think within like 10 grams or 15 grams or something. Or it's money back, and they better. They're proud of them. And what I mean by that, I bought these before, way before lockdowns, years before lockdowns. And they were $3 a pound. So yeah, these plates are like $160, $170 per plate. Ridiculous. But, you know, I bought them. Honestly, I should have only bought 4 instead of 8 and bought more calibrated plates, personally, if I were to go back and change it. But as a couple of people said on this, you're cheating just a little bit more than you were with 10s, and that happens with the 5s. It's almost unavoidable. It's because I'm going well above my body weight. Well above my body weight here. So there's a little bit of balance issue there. And I'm trying to pull up tight like a deadlift each time, but it really is still very much a strict row. It's within the grounds of acceptability. It's just on the extremer end. And so I'm not going to increase the weight on these until I can do them real strict. And when I can get them a little stricter, I'll bump it 5 pounds. Okay, that's what I'm using to gauge it. But I got 6 reps on the last one. Incline went up to 210 today. Now the thing is with incline, and this is something many coaches have noted over the years, the incline bench will increase your flat bench, but the flat bench doesn't do much for the incline. And I've went all these years without training incline and just training flat bench, so I'm going to have to build the incline up. But it will improve my bench. And it particularly will improve that, again, now that I'm doing a more wide grip, again, pinkies on the rings, it will get more out of the incline because it uses more chest out of the bottom. And again, incline's a great chest builder. Just happens to be one of the best front delt builders also. So the combination, this is what I'm using to build my pecs, is going to be flat bench variations and incline variations. I can rotate bars on them if necessary. I can do bands or chains, whatever I need to do. But these are all paused. So we went up to 210 today. And remember, before my shoulder started getting aggravated again, I had been doing inclines and had started building a strength base and quit doing them and started doing them again recently. This represents, if I were to plug this into a 1 rep max calculator, this represents the strongest incline I've had since coming back to doing the incline. So we're making good progress. And on the last set, I got 6 reps. And because everything is paused, we can't even argue they weren't good reps. Oh, people can say, well, whatever, you cheated through some rep or something. Well, I'm pause repping everything. Everything's paused on the chest. So with the 5 pound jump, I still managed to get 6 reps on the last set. It was hard, but I'm almost going, can I get away with a 5 pound jump again? Or do I just need to do 2.5? I don't know. I feel almost like if I can do 6 reps, 6 reps, and the last one was grindy, but it was doable. All right, here we go. Here's the last one. Had to use some leg drive and then push through, but it wasn't bad. I might be able to do another one. So, I mean, really a goal I want to get to is to get up to 225 for 5s. And once we get past that, we can start maybe testing maxes on inclines and like band and chain setups or whatever. Did my rows here with the axle bar after doing the heavy rows first. Going with this 230 that I've finally been able to get to. It got tough near the end. I failed the 10th rep on the last set. My grip gave out. But my grip is in a very strong place. I mean, for me, this is by far the strongest I've ever been on axle bar rows. Okay? Strongest I've ever been on axle bar rows. So I'm almost curious how my grip is doing. I don't feel like testing a pure raw deadlift right now without the straps because I'm trying to grip specialize. I want to get this grip stronger and stronger and stronger. Right? But I'm at the strongest I've probably been with this axle bar work. Because even though I failed on the 10th rep, still, I only recently got this weight. I set a goal of getting to 225 for 10s. I'm up to 230 for 10s. Okay, last set was tough. But again, this represents the strongest I've ever been on any axle bar pulls, just realistically, but definitely the rows. It's a good spot to be in. I want to get it to 250. All right, I feel like when I get this to 250 with the axle bar, I think we can safely test my grip on a deadlift. Okay, you can safely test it. And for those again curious, how the shoulder rehab's going, I'm getting better and better at dead hangs. I've finally gotten to where I can just hang my entire body weight off the dead hang now. And it still hurts. But I do my whole body weight, I'm only doing it for 15 seconds. I'm not doing it for 30 yet. Because again, the shoulder starts to get irritated. But the pain is actually getting less and less from the dead hangs. It's been the best shoulder rehab tool I've used so far. There you go, my grip gave out. So, you know, again, where people who are asking about the chin-ups and pull-ups, that's the criteria I set. When I can do a dead hang with my body weight for 30 seconds without my shoulders being in pain while doing it, I think I can safely do chin-ups again. I don't know how long that's going to take, and I don't know if it will ever happen. Went up 10 pounds on these today. The first rep each time was brutally hard. First rep is so hard off those pins, even though it's just a reset and a pause after, because you're already tight. You're storing energy on the eccentric reps. And it's funny because I did the little weight bump, and I think the first rep on the second set looked like an all-out max. It's comical, right? But on the last set, I managed to get 6 reps. And again, it's the way this pin work, the way the pin work goes. I almost want to quit doing the pin work because of it and go back to just unracking and then coming back a little bit and just having the pin just a little bit below where my bottom is. But I couldn't do that at first pain-free in my shoulder with these wider grips, right? So that's why I went over to the pins, because I can limit the range of motion to just off the chest to ensure that. But look at those first reps each time. They're horrible. But then after that, I can just crank out the reps. And again, it's because we store energy on that eccentric. It's pretty much the deadlift of overhead pressing. But the beauty of these is my shoulder health is getting enough to where these are not hurting me. So we might very soon be in the situation where I can just unrack it off the hooks in front of me. And if I can do that, hey, that'll be great too. If I can do it comfortably with the wider grip, we're also in a good position. The pin work I'm doing out of necessity for that. But again, it also forces me to get dead strength out of the bottom, right? It forces me to have to press off of pins from a hard stop. Okay, forces me to have to do so. And we don't want to do this on a lot of exercises. We need to be careful of it. Look at that first rep. But then I get 5 more. Look at that. Then they just get easy. So if you the second rep was easy, so was the third. Then it starts getting hard again. But never as hard as that first rep. But we got 6, so we can keep progressing here. And again, I may check real soon if my shoulder will allow for it. I might try to go back to the other method I was doing and see if we can do it with the wide grip. Okay, because the wide grip hits my side delts and everything more. I feel it more. And again, I'm benching wide grip. We might as well. JM presses. I didn't like the way the first set felt or looked at all. I didn't like the way it felt. I'm trying to use this 115 and the form isn't right. So I dropped it down 10 pounds and it was much better. Like, again, look how low my elbow's going too low. I felt a lot of shoulder and less tricep than I'd like. So what's the solution? Drop it down 10 pounds. I just put on the notes that you guys will see just what I'll buy for all of it. We're not going to count the first set as heavier. It still hits the triceps, but the form isn't quite right. So when I dropped it down 10 pounds and threw my wrist straps back on, I tried to do a set without wrist straps to see how it felt. I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. I dropped down 10 pounds back down to 105. Felt a lot better. Felt less shoulder, less delt. Triceps lit back up again. Got exactly that feeling I want. I want to feel that medial head of the tricep get a pump on these. And it did, right? I'm able to get the bar further back over the face. Able to just kind of keep it in the position we want for the JM press. And now, what's the point with these? Some people will say, well, there's a lot of stretch on the tricep there. Is this really helping lockout? Well, all triceps help lockout. But realistically, yeah, we're putting peak stretch on the bicep in the same position, or the tricep in the same position it will be at the bottom of a bench. So yes, it will help your triceps explode out of the bottom more. We're going to start looking at carryover. That's why I'm doing all this pause work also. I want power out of the bottom of those benches. I want power out of the bottom. Okay, and if I need to work a lockout, strength of lockout becomes a problem for me. I've got all those bench blocks. I can do board work. That's fixable too. So I'm looking at the tricep of not just how can the tricep help me with the lockout, but again, how's the tricep going to help me through the entire bench, right? Triceps do help you out of the bottom and the lockout. I want them to be strong out of the bottom so whatever the triceps have strength left at the top. And it's a strategy by doing this with the JM press. It's just a different way of approaching it. But it works. But I'm really happy with today's workout, happy with how everything felt. Great training session, so I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.